Hello, Bopo here to read you my cringy Zelda fanfiction from when I was 16. That's over 10 years ago, to give you context. Here we go! This was a subscriber goal for 300 subscribers, so thank you for subscribing, for following, I really appreciate it, and let's just get to it. Child of the Lost Woods, by yours truly. Hymn, Light, and Darkness. The young boy had been trekking all night, following the dark path, guided by the luminescence of the moon. The wind restlessly tossed him around, whipping the grass back and forth with him. He was lost in the vast field of Hyrule, too tired to find his bearings or to even think, just focusing on the soft, soiled path ahead. His feet ached, his throat parched. Still, he walked, step after step. Suddenly, without warning, a skeletal creature tore itself out of the ground just to his right. Its ghoulish, glowing eyes caught sight of him. He took off, despite his exhaustion. The piercing wind smacked his face as he ran, making his eyes water. But he never looked back. He dashed alongside a massive stone wall with a spectacular drawbridge, surrounded by a moat. I could hide in there. But he stopped, glued to the spot in terror-filled remembrance. He couldn't go in. It wasn't safe anymore. Looking down at the torch-lit floor, he saw the skeleton's stretching shadow advancing on him. He spun and charged hastily, his legs blazing with a newfound energy, fear. For a while he ran and ran until his lungs burned. Eventually, he peered over his shoulder. The skeleton had vanished. He stopped. Breathing heavily, he searched for a source of water. A river! Straight ahead, water was sparkling in the moonlight. He stumbled and collapsed by the river. He plunged his cracked lips into the betrayingly cold water. Once he had his fill, he crouched over the river, still straining to catch his breath. What was that thing? How had it gotten in the ground? Or how did it get out of the ground? He remembered its haunting yellow, glowing eyes and shivered. Looking upwards, he now noticed that the night was slowly departing, stealing the moon and stars with it. I need to find a place to hide. He hesitantly rose and continued on the path. After a short time, he noticed a ranch in the center of Hyrule Field. He could smell the aroma of a warm cooked dinner and delectable milk. His stomach ached. He looked away. Pushing on, he dug through his small pouch and ate the bread inside. It was disappointingly tasteless. He longed for the sweet comfort of the ranch and the delicious warm food, but it wasn't safe there either. Munching on the bread, he realized how tired he actually was. He walked painstakingly slow steps, resisting sleep with every welcoming blink. But he couldn't keep this up for long. His eyes flickered, then closed. He stumbled and fell onto his right shoulder, reposed by a wooden sign. Too tired to wake, he laid and dreamt his bittersweet dreams. A village burning. Heat came off of it in waves. Smoke, clouding the most reliable of senses. The fire was devouring every hut. Villagers were fleeing their smoldering houses. Children wept as their mothers desperately dragged them along. Mom? Mom! Darling, don't look back. Please, leave. Don't return. Keep her safe. I guess. His eyes snapped open, blurred by his tears, He shook as he whimpered in sorrowful remembrance. He looked up to wipe his eyes, only to find a wooden sign looming over him. He couldn't read, unfortunately, though in his favor the sign pointed to a large, hollow log. That looks safe. The boy mustered up his courage and what energy he had left and entered carefully. His footsteps echoed down the spacious tree. He stepped out on the other side to be greeted by a dense forest. He was frozen to the grassy floor in awe. The luscious trees reached farther than any Hyrulean would ever hope to see. Their intricate leaves let the most detailed shafts of light reach the earth. He could feel the forest in his soul, the falling of a delicate acorn, the gentle breeze twisting around the majestic tree's branches. Every plant life reaching for dawn's rosy morning rays. What was that? He heard something. It had just passed his ear. It's going too fast. There's no way I'll be able to see it at this rate. Wait, there it is! It had just come into view. It looked like a tiny ball of dim yellow light. Calmly, the light fluttered gracefully around the trees in an internal dance with the forest. He was entranced, studying the ball of light's silk-like movements interweaving through the trees' branches. The ball lit up the leaves with each sparkling twirl. Its warm, milky glow was a sweet lullaby to the watchful eye. Wait, where'd it go? It was gone. He searched frantically for the ball, craving for that angelic masquerade. Over there! A flicker by the far tree, near the rock wall. He dashed for it, pushing his legs as fast as they'd go, his heart beating recklessly to a new, unfamiliar beat. As he strived forward, he started to pick more detail from the ball of light. Wings? Why would a light need wings? However, before he could see more, the light rounded the tree and bolted. He quickly followed, his eyes the best alibi. He was growing tired, dodging branches, leaping logs, and still the light flew ever faster. I can't go on, not any longer. I have to stop. He leaped over a root and saw the landing right before him. Clumsily, his left foot snagged on the root, thrusting him to the ground. He tumbled down the steep hill, painfully hitting the ground harder and harder the farther he went. He desperately tried to grab hold of something. Losing control, he slammed his head into a tree, then lifelessly rolled into a small clearing. He pushed up his bruised body, his head throbbing with the effort. He stood up, burying the spinning forest around him. He pathetically fell to his hands and knees. Where had he hit his head? He couldn't tell. Everything hurt, pain taking over consciousness. He breathed in and cringed, breathed out and cringed again. Once the world stopped spinning, he cautiously lifted his head. Before him rested a large, hollow log, similar to the one at the entrance, but all the same, very different. This was darker. It felt like it was forcing him away. It grasped his very soul and shook it to its core. The darkness seemed to surround him, killing any joy that had ever thrived in him. The very chaos was maddening. Then the light passed him overhead, fluttering slowly, looking back, and taunting him to follow. The light creeped into the log and was sucked away until it vanished. The boy, now standing, took one step back, fear pushing him to his limit. What are you doing? You didn't follow this light just to be scared off by a dark hole. Step, step, right, then left. He took one last glance at the forest, then walked into the darkness. And that's it. I have embarrassed myself for the internet. For what? Yeah, I mean, I'm still a huge Zelda fan. I write real books now, not just fan fiction. Sorry, that was mean. Fan fiction is valid. I just don't write it anymore. And I honestly don't know what direction this story was taking. It's so long ago, I don't know what my original plan was. Which makes me sad, because I feel like I still kind of like it, despite everything about it. So anyway, that's me. I'm an author, I'm an artist, fantasy mainly. I post stuff all the time. If you want to be entered for an art raffle to win an art commission for me, a free one, you just have to follow me. That's all it takes, nothing more. I also wrote a pretty cool fantasy graphic novel. If you want to check it out, the link is in my bio. I worked really hard on it. I didn't draw it because I wasn't proficient at drawing at that time. I'm still not proficient, but more so that I would charge for it at this point. That's it. Goodbye. I'll set out probably a new subscriber goal. I don't know what I want it to be. If you have any ideas, please comment below. Thanks. Bye.